Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Ismail of House Zaydan. And as you will no doubt recall at the end of the last episode, we had finally returned home from our months-long Hajj to the great city of Mecca, where we performed our due diligence. And along the way, we had many adventurers and saw many sights, including the great University of Heliopolis, the pyramids of Giza. We visited many different sites, Carthage, and uh, a lot of different places here. I believe we did in Garnata as well. And just overall, it was a long journey, but one in which we got to see a lot of the world and places that our character has never seen before. He did a lot of traveling and adventuring around Iberia, but beyond that, his travels were not that extensive. And so that was a good journey, and it was a difficult one. Many hardships were faced, but we did survive them and eventually kind of came out on top. And as you will recall, I think over the course of that journey, we had to heal at least four, possibly five different characters when they got sick. So I actually went in and gave our character the novice physician trait just because of that. I felt like this was pretty fitting considering how many times we had to use our medical knowledge. And I think this is really cool because it kind of goes to show where our character is leaning with some of their scholarly studies. Like, we are a character who's interested in things like philosophy and things like that, but also more practical scientific type things. And you can see that in our when we go into our perk tree, that we've already kind of gone into, like, our character already understands anatomical studies and about washing your hands and things like that. So we've already partially gone down this. So I think once we start to go down these two trees, we might even, taking the scholarship focus will be pretty good, but at some point we might end up switching over to the medicine focus. But I think our character is somebody who's kind of interested in these two schools, but not as much in this school. Even though we did just complete our Hajj, it was more of a duty rather than something full of zeal like many others would do. Now, at the end of the last episode, I did say that I was going to discuss what our characters' plans are overall in the long term here, and that's what we're going to do here at the beginning of this episode. Now, I came into this series with some kind of vague goals. I knew I wanted to play a tall game and not just focus on pure expansion, and I definitely want to do that, even though the situation is so ripe for like expansion. We could easily just take this whole area and this whole area too. That would be basically no problem. And which would give us a pretty big empire. I mean, we could probably even get, maybe not an empire, that's a little bit big, but we definitely could get ourselves a good powerful kingdom here in North Africa. And like I said, I still want to play tall, even though the situation has made that opportunity pretty ripe for us. But that being said, I would like, and I think this fits our character, who is an arrogant character who comes from the Idrisid dynasty, a very prestigious, formerly prestigious dynasty. And our family once held the kingdom of the Maghreb, and we were very, very powerful, very prestigious, like I said. And I think our character, being arrogant and being brave, would have some interest in restoring us. And you'll remember in that last episode, we had a lot of events about how our character felt like they were not able to match their father's glory. So I think what the plan is here is that we are going to essentially take the lands. So in order to form the Kingdom of the Maghreb title, what do we need? We need 13 de jure counties. We currently have 5. And that means that if we go, so we have 5 here, we need 8 more. So if we can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we can take these ones right here, basically just within the Atlas Mountains here, this kind of range, which would look really nice. The borders would look nice. It's basically just these full two duchies here. If we can take this, we can form that kingdom title. And that, I think, would allow us to play still a fairly tall game. Obviously, we would have expanded a little bit, but I think a kingdom of that size is still, relatively speaking, it's kind of a little bit on the edge of not being just a pure tall playthrough. I feel like you could do a really tall playthrough with just like, if you could hold like Venice or, even just the island of Sardinia here with the gold mine, if you can get some really good provinces, you could probably do a tall playthrough with just a couple really good counties and really develop them like crazy. But I think 13 is not too bad. And we've played series where we've just expanded like crazy, taking Egypt and then taking the Byzantines and then taking, the Roman Empire, which, is no more, but that is, that is playing wide to its full extent. But I think just taking this little area just so we can form the kingdom, because I think that's important for our character's story, and having this really small, really well developed kingdom is a pretty good option. Now, another thing that I would like to do is related to culture. And you can see that we are Andalusian, but we are Andalusian by essentially we are learned Andalusian. We learned the cultural tenets here while we were in Al-Andalus, but our family is actually Maghrebi, and we are currently ruling over partially Baranis land. So there's a lot of cultural mixture here. So I think this is the perfect character to form a hybrid culture. And what I would like to probably do is form a hybrid Andalusian, Baranis, Maghrebi culture. I know you can't really do 3, but we can kind of try to incorporate some of the things that we would maybe see in the Maghrebi culture as well. So we'll see how this can all play out. Now, I was also curious about potentially making a new faith as well, and this is a long-term goal. So we are currently Zaidi, and that is, we are far away from the Zaidi homeland. Obviously, we were part of the whole story of the Idrisids is that we were essentially expelled for rebelling, and we fled all the way over here, and we ended up in these lands here and took them over. But what I would like to do is potentially create a new faith. And what would be really interesting is that you'll see we don't have any holy sites here. But what I would potentially like to do, and we'll see if we get this opportunity, is if we can convert to Muwaladi, just temporarily, essentially, and hear me out on this. When we are ready to change face, you'll see that the Muwaladi has the holy site here in Subu, which is one of the counties we hold, so we can't currently build the temple here. Now, our character was raised in Al-Andalus, which is a Ash'ari-ruled place, but it is majority Muwaladi. We are also Zaidi, and so there's a lot of different kind of connections here. What I would like to do is if we can just essentially, what we would be doing is forming kind of a hybrid faith, taking things from the Muwaladi culture, which we would have been steeped in during our adventures traveling among the lands of Al-Andalus. We would have met a lot of Muwaladi people. So maybe we incorporate some of that and a little bit of Ash'ari, and perhaps, having met people who are Mozarabic or Waldensians, Catholics, things like that. We would have met a lot of people. So I'm kind of tempted to create some sort of essentially hybrid faith now. The reason we would switch over to Muwaladi just before we do that is because then our character, we would get the holy site would be part of this new faith. So we would be able to use this holy site And if we ever took Cortuba, we would be able to use that holy site as well. Whereas if we form the faith just straight from Zaidi, then we would not. The only holy sites would be way over here. So if we switch to Mualadi and then create that faith now, you will and I'm not really super well learned on all of these things, but as far as I know, I mean, and it says right here that so the Zaidi faith is a Shia faith, whereas Mualadi is Sunni. That's obviously a fairly important doctrinal difference as far as I'm aware. And I think what we would probably do is incorporate some of the Mualadi tenets, but switch it over, and you can do so. We could switch that over to create kind of a Shia-based faith that is has some of the tenets of Mualadi, Ash'ari, and potentially is a little bit more pluralistic and a little bit more tolerant. So we could potentially take some of the things here, like switching over to pluralist, and maybe switch out, for adaptive or something like that. So really, I think, and this makes sense from our character's perspective, in trying to build a center of learning. Like, we want Fez, now that we've seen the great university of Heliopolis, a great center of learning, we want to create that too, but we want it to bring in all different people. We want to bring in scholars from all around the world, if we can, to this place to create the greatest center of learning that we can. And in order to do that, developing this kind of new understanding of our faith and of the other faiths around us, I think is something that might develop over time. So that's a really long-term goal. We'll see if our character lives long enough to do so. But our young son here is also getting a learning education. So it's possible that he will take that up from us if we don't accomplish it ourselves. So those are our long-term goals. So obviously we do need to do some conquering if we want to take the Maghreb back, and we are going to probably do so right now. I mean, we do have the time for it. We're pretty well stocked up in terms of troops. I don't think we'll have too much trouble taking some more lands here, so we could potentially do I mean, they actually got a little bit of an advantage here. What about Fazaz? Can we take you guys? That's a little bit more even. Artifact claim. What artifact does this guy have that we have claims on? Nazanin's crown. Creator Nazanin. Interesting. Was this House Barra did? I'm curious why we would have a claim on this. It's a nice crown, but interesting. Probably don't want to do the artifact claim, or we could try to take. No, we should probably just do it. Conquer County and take Garb here. But he does have an advantage. We need to get an ally. We need to get a pretty strong ally. We can get one with our son here, and our son is 10 years old, so it's probably a good time for us to look for a potential alliance here. Now, let's see. Well, this character is not too bad, actually. She's got reasonable traits there. This girl is probably more suitable age because she's not quite so much older than our son. Or you? Your stats are not too bad as well. This girl is quite a bit more evenly spread, though. So I think what we're gonna do is get a marriage here. This is with the Basharids, which are they're not too big. They do have 6,000 troops, so like they're relatively strong, and they're allied with Navarra, which is actually pretty reasonably strong alliance there. So if we can get this, I think we'll be pretty good. So that's what we're gonna go for here, and that will be. And our son can have potentially more wives as well, so should be fine. We could potentially get another alliance if we needed it. Get a betrothal for our daughter Halawa here. Balancia. let's see. Where is Balancia anyways? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So he's a pretty big duchy, actually. Hmm. Could we get an arrange? Could we arrange it between you and your son, perhaps? One of your sons? Let's see. Arrange marriage for him and Alawa? Will not accept. Let's see. Why not? He doesn't like us much. We would have to sway him. So let's start swaying him. And yeah, we'll get that alliance. But we should be good once we get this first alliance. That should give us everything we need to defeat our enemies here. Which I guess, oh yeah, there it is. It's already good. So we have that alliance. Let's take a look at things now. There we go. Yeah, 8,000 versus his 3,000. We should be fine once our allies get in. So let us, yeah, we're going to do this one here. We've got the prestige. Not too worried about that. We will call in our allies here. So that's a lot. Probably not going to bother calling in you. And we could call in our dynasty member, but yeah, we won't lose that renown now that I actually understand how renown works properly. So let's see, that's everything. Yeah, we should be good. Let's raise up our armies here. And I wonder, I mean, let's see, he's got 19,000. If he raises up his troops, we should just be able to hold him off pretty well just on our own here. I'm not sure where his troops are even being raised from. Oh, they're over there. All right. Oh, and our wife is pregnant once more. Excellent news. So we're going to do the siege. Our ally should be... he's on his way. We just need to... Okay, so here's where things get a little tricky. I'm probably going to back off, actually. There's no point of holding this siege here when we've got this many troops gathering up like close by. We need to get up with our allies, and we're going to play this smart. Losing a little bit of money, but that should be no problem. Paying for war. Wars are expensive, and with my treasury rapidly emptying, I need to think about how I will pay to keep my soldiers on the field of battles. Raise additional taxes from the peasants, cut non-essential military expenditures. Or, things will work out in the end, they always do. War will create many opportunities. Could lose some stress. That would be nice. Our character is... actually, our stress is not too bad, but collecting war taxes... I don't want to lose the... Well, actually, it's only development growth for 3 years. Let's see, what about this? Army gold maintenance or undersupplied armies? 52, that's a 50-50 chance. I think that we should probably... You know what? I think our character thinks that they're smart enough to think that they would be able to pull this off, so let's see. I approve efficiency of my military budget. Ha, look at that. There we go. So we actually succeeded, and we did gain a little bit of martial lifestyle as well, which won't really come in handy to us for a while, but our allies' armies coming in. We'll speed up time a little bit so they can get over here. Oh, they're coming towards us. Let's hold up here. The map. More spies here. Our rival is definitely trying to murder us, but... And our wife is struggling as well, but you know what? That is calming to us. So yeah, they're going to come here. They're going to try to siege us down, but our allies are just about here. We're going to gather up our forces, smash them here as they try to siege the city of Fez. I might even lead this army ourselves. Why not? I got some decent perks here. So yeah, let's try it. We're gonna win just through force of numbers more than anything, anyways. There we go. We got this big army here. Last one. Okay, they're not moving. All right. So they're gonna come in. Let's move in, and we should. Yeah, I think we'll be able to handle this. It doesn't give us the best chances, but I don't think it's considering our allies' army coming in here as well. So I think we should be quite all right. We've got our allies, the secondary forces coming in too, but even here we are managing to take them down without even needing that. So there we go. An easy victory over our enemy here. We captured some of the enemy combatants. Let's take a look at the details. Just killed one of the enemy commanders, captured another one, captured Wali. Ransoms are always useful, but we'll hold him until he can get a little bit more money. I'm not gonna make that cheap of a ransom anyways. There we go. All right, so we're gonna siege down the lands that we need. We're already at 21% war score. This is their capital, so not only is it the war target, but it's also their capital, so it's gonna be an even bigger boost there as well. Have you taken prisoner? Interesting. Another daughter, Shakira. Shakira. There we go. Did she have any good traits? We have a lot of children. Luckily, just a couple sons, so not quite so many daughters. Or not more daughters than sons, I should say. So our lands won't split up too much anyways. Oh no, another sickly child. Our children have a tendency towards sickliness, unfortunately. I've been corresponding with your Chancellor, Sheikh Lot, and must say I've come to see you in a new light. Emir Urzig the Smelly. Urzig the Smelly. Interesting. Okay, well. Hopefully he doesn't bring his smell to our court. Emir Hakama has been swayed. Wonder if we could get that marriage here now between our daughter Halawa and his son Musab. Let's see. He will accept. There we go. This should secure us. This alliance should secure us quite well, I would say. So we got an alliance with a powerful emir, and we are pretty much good here. So I'm not going to worry too much about other alliances and things like that. We probably won't need to focus on that, so we can get some marriages that are, you know, better. We won't have to just pick the best, most powerful alliances here. We'll still try to get some good ones, but yeah, we should be pretty secure with what we've got already. Oh, looks like they're trying to engage him in a battle. All right. Hey, we got the nickname Strongarm. That's funny, considering we got the nickname Strongarm with our last character as well. My acquaintance, have you heard what they call you? They call you Emir Ismail Strongarm. Spectacular, is it not? It's on the lips of peasant and noble alike. A cause for celebration, I think. I can get used to this name. You know what? That's not not the worst nickname. We are kind of a warrior sculler, so, you know, that's not too bad. Maybe not the most fitting, but it's all right. I don't mind it. Our allies are going to win us this battle. We're going to win this siege, and there we go. I think this is probably going to give us like all the war score we're going to need, or pretty close anyways. Yeah, there you go. You can see, probably because we captured some good prisoners. Let's see if we can do any good ransoms as well. Let's see. You will pay for that ransom, and let's see, how much money do you have? Just a hook? No, thank you. And he will pay 30. There we go. So we can get these ransoms, and then we will end this war here. There we go. And enforce our demands. There we go. So we have taken a little bit more land here, which is exactly what we were hoping for. I'll probably take Garb next, and then we'll pause the expansion for a little bit here. We can give this away, so who should we give it away to? Tahir Abu Yafarid? We need to give it to somebody who's actually got some good stats here, because our court is not that great. So this guy's got pretty high stewardship, so let's put him in that position. There we go. And now you can usurp this guy because because we need you to be doing your job here. We are promoting culture, I believe, and I think that our cultural acceptance is pretty good. Yeah, 46% with Baranis, but it's going to be going down as we do some of these wars. I don't want to change, or I don't want to create the cultural hybrid until we've conquered at least a good chunk of this, because the more lands that we hold, the more Baranis lands that we hold, the better off that we are going to be when we convert it. We'll potentially get more lands switched over to our new culture. So we want to capture all these lands first and then create the new culture. So that's what we are going to attempt to do. Yeah, I think we'll probably do one more war here against the Vali. Yeah, all right. He's Persian. A Persian. How did a Persian family end up in charge here? That's a long way for them to go. But yeah, let's take the county. We're gonna take Garb. So we'll start this war and we'll call in our ally once more here. We might even call in Balencia, honestly. We probably don't need to do the same ally twice in a row here. So let's raise up our armies once more. And we'll go and take them down. There we go. Is he gonna try to fight us here? I'm curious if he'll try. Let's see. Let's get up into the mountains here. Oh, we get a new stewardship perk. Perfect. Centralization is perfect. We do want to increase that development. Fez is actually already pretty decent, 19. But yeah, let's see. Oh, should we? Can we hold this? Better army commander. Let's see. Once our allies get here, they won't take too long, I don't think. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna make our way around. We'll meet up with our allies, and then we'll go and attack them. Our forces should be able to hold. Oh, interesting. Let's get over here so he can't. He thinks he can beat us in the fight, and he might actually be able to. But Isa gets a trait here. There was a commotion among the children. Halawa was attempting to preach among her fellow youngsters and became the target of a small fight. Isa intervened and did what he could to protect her. Oh, good. He's protecting his sister. That's like, see, he's a good young man. I think that we are going to accept that. Never back down. Perfect. There we go. We're going to get back up into the mountains here and take a defensive position. Our allies not super far away, so we should be okay. Curious to see if they're going to try to fight us up here in the mountains. Let's move over into Subu. Oh, okay. All right, we should be able to make it if we go here. Let's see, we just escaped. So just got to hold out until our allies get here. I'm not really too worried about the sieges. He's going to gather up his forces. So we can go up here, gather up with our allies. That should give us the numbers advantage. And then I think that we will be fine from there. So we're playing it relatively smart here, you know, trying not to engage if we don't need to. Let's see, can we meet up with our allies here? There we go, looks like they will. Come on, guys, there we go. All right, they're coming with us now here. We should be able to win this fight. I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. Yeah, it looks like our allies are coming in. We should have the forces here to defeat them. So yeah, overall, let's take a look at the state of this battle afterwards. And that one went pretty well. Oh, look, slew the enemy commander here. Yeah, took out 2 of them as well. Not too bad here. Who was this guy? Just a count, I suppose. Anyways, let's head over to Garb. Let's capture it. Do the sieges we need. Their forces are pretty smashed up, so we can probably capture this and then maybe beat them in one more fight or siege down their capital, and that should give us the victory that we need. And then we'll slow down for a little bit. Like I said, we don't want to expand too fast, You know, I'm not like playing, you know, our character is not necessarily just like a war, like a conqueror. We are essentially doing this to secure our borders, to bring in, you know, more wealth and prestige for ourselves, and to kind of reclaim the Idrisid, what we believe is our legacy. But we're not doing this out of this like, you know, just the sense of, you know, we're not like an Alexander the Great type of character like some of our previous characters in other series. We're just a little bit more of a essentially trying to reclaim that legacy. So, well, looks like our allies are going to have to come in and help us. They were really close on that siege. They probably could have finished it off in time, but meh. You know, it's good that we didn't risk it anyways. Wow, I wonder if we're going to have... Oh, we crushed him really good there. Yeah. Enemy combatants captured. Ooh, Bashar Daoud. How about a ransom for you? Who are you anyways? Atta Malik. Oh, wow. He's a good character, actually. I wonder, are you the heir to anything? No. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting this character to be, like, recruited into our court. He's actually, like, he's pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. Join our court, Bashar ibn Daoud Atta Malik. There we go, he accepts. And, you know, he still actually kind of, he decently likes us. Yeah, this guy's good. We could probably put him on our council if we needed to. But we've got Sheikh Haroun here doing a pretty good job. Although this guy would honestly be better. Oh, wow. Okay, we've got a good... Oh, no, this guy hates us. Actually, I'm pretty sure he tried to join an assassination plot against us. So we are going to assign Bashar ibn Daoud here, because he's a little bit better at his job. And yeah, let's get the siege done. Wow, Anastasia pregnant again. Excellent. Head here, finish the other Siege of Garb. Shouldn't take too long, I don't imagine. And then we'll have pretty nice borders here already. But yeah, we do need to go in and take just a little bit more. So we're going to need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a couple fights, but we should be able to do a little bit bigger wars in the future here. Amira Tazalt bursts into my room, fuming like a pot at boil. The heat coming off her is slightly intimidating. This is unacceptable. The way she... Anastasia is such a hag. Motions with her arms. Can't you do something? I've only ever heard her say nice things about you. You know, she did say something about your skin. I really don't care. Solve it. Apparently we're gregarious, so we would try to smooth things over, I think. Let's see if we can do so. Didn't say if we were successful or not. Oh, well. I choose to think that we were. Oh, look at that. We captured his son and heir after that battle. Perfect. Well, I don't really see any need to wait for these sieges to be done then. Let us enforce our demands here. We could demand a hostage as well, potentially. But he would not accept. Yeah, okay. I should look at that a little bit more often. But, yeah, we don't need it in this case. There we go. So look at that. That is a pretty nice place that we got going here. We are above the domain limit again. Let's see if we can get give this off to somebody pretty good. Maybe somebody with high diplomacy. Baranis, Maghrebi. He's pretty good. Tumu Tayabid. Yeah, let's get this guy here. So you can take Garb. Let's disband our armies. And we'll keep our brother in this position for now. He's not terrible at his job, but we can potentially get a new person in that position in the future. But yeah, you guys know the plan now, and that plan is going to continue over the next couple episodes here as we kind of take some of these places. Like I said, we should be able to go a little bit faster once we start doing some duchy wars, so we'll be able to take, 2 at a time instead of 1 at a time here. But relatively speaking, I think we should be able to. I think we'll for certain be able to build this new Maghrebi kingdom within the lifetime of Emir Ismail here. He's only 40 years old and he could potentially live a long time. But we shall have to see how it all plays out. Until the next episode, Wanderers, thank you for watching.